Housing Development Program in Africa. Housing Development Program and the globe. Number one, Housing Development Program.
Hello and welcome to another informative episode of Housing Development as humanity celebrates women in this year's International Women's Day, a global celebration of the social, economic, cultural, and political achievement of women each year. The day serves as a powerful reminder of the progress made towards gender equality and highlights the work that still needs to be done. What challenges do women in the housing and construction industry face? And what risks is associated with their job? How can we inspire more women participation in the industry? How do we break down barriers and foster diversity? I'll be speaking with some amazing Amazons today. First, let's see the news making waves in the sector. As always, I am Fleur Arnie, your housing diva.
The Housing Development Advocacy Network, HDAN, has urged the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike to allocate land to credible developers amid rising cases of land speculators selling land to genuine developers. HDAN, a non-profit organization focused on promoting affordable housing across Africa, has called for an end to land speculation, with the Executive Director Festus Adebayo emphasizing the urgent need to address the growing issue in Abuja on Monday. The organization has also raised concerns over politicians selling certificate of occupancy CFOs in Abuja, urging the FCT minister to vet land beneficiaries carefully and allocate land only to developers with financial capacity and a proven track record to avoid damaging the housing market. Meanwhile, land racketeering in Abuja has surged, with plots reallocated and flipped, raising concerns over fund distribution. However, Adebayo called for a review of the FCT master plan and stronger efforts to expose fraud, also commending the minister for improving the FCT infrastructure. A new bill introduced in the Enugu State House of Assembly has reignited debates over Lagos's escalating housing crisis, focused on addressing exploitative rental practices and sparking calls for similar measures in Lagos State. Many Lagos residents have raised concerns over sudden rent hikes, high agency fees, and unjust tenancy practices, all of which are threatening their housing security. A senior aide to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Jibril Gawat, revealed that Lagos may soon introduce its own rent regulations, a strong issue needing thorough discussion before any implementation. However, Abayomi Adekoya cautioned that rent controls could reduce investment incentives, leading landlords to bypass regulations, while critics urged the government to focus on housing supply and construction materials costs instead of price controls.
For full details of the news, do well to visit www.africanhousingnews.com. The construction industry has long been characterized as a male-dominated field, with women historically underrepresented in all aspects of this sector. However, in recent years, significant progress has been made in breaking down gender barriers and increasing the presence of women in construction. This shift has had a profound effect on the industry, leading to greater diversity, improved productivity, and a more inclusive work environment. What are the roles and contributions of women internationally and nationally to the development of the housing and construction industry? What are the constraints, the bias, and how can we break the bias? Let's listen to these amazing women.
When we came out as young girls of 21, 22 into a field where you now see the elderly men in the profession. We were a bit intimidated, but what did we do? Some of us took a second look at it and said, okay, we may need to have much more than just that single disciplinary knowledge. So we went back to school to arm ourselves more. So it was a challenge, which we turned into an opportunity. And we went back to school to learn the business side of the real estate. We needed to be groomed in managing the professional career space. And we were not getting that in estate firms. So we took a little side step and we went to learn about the corporate world. Some of us entered the banks. Some of us entered the accounting firms, like me, the consulting firms. But we also kept our eyes on our estate field. We made sure we got our associateships. We are associate members of the institution. You keep your eye on it because in every profession you find yourself, one, you have to be financially viable. Two, you have to be professionally sound. So you have to balance the two. If you're not getting the financial viability in one, you can do something on the side to be able to augment it and keep your studies alive and your research alive in your field. Definitely, there's a stereotype. The stereotype is that you're a female, so you're physically weaker. These are professions that demand some physical presence. You have to be in the field. I remember as a young estate surveyor, we used to walk streets in what we call rating exercises. You have to do rating to be able to know the tax values of houses, and you have to physically inspect the houses. So yes, there is a stereotype that the women are not strong enough to do some things. The women are not strong enough to travel to the bush. So what we were taking over some barren lands, you have to walk inside the bush. They'll say the girls are not strong. We have to try to prove that we are strong.
The challenge will have to be, we're still struggling to see how you balance your life, home and here, especially if you have kids, you need to look at how you give your kids time as well as give the job time, because it's actually a very demanding job. But then being a homemaker is also very demanding, and you do not want to have, one overtaking the other. So you have to have that, peculiarity and I say peculiarity because it's different for every woman and every business as well. But then the other challenges are the typical construction challenges you face, having in mind what is happening with the economy, what is happening with, and I know it's a worldwide phenomenon now that things are just changing, and you have to consider, especially being in a managerial role, when you're planning how things go, you have to go back to that, replan and plan and replan. Well, I think they need to look at, some of the women already in the industry and realize that these are women just like them doing this, like I said. And so it's quite easy for them to come into the industry. And then there's a lot of mentoring that needs to be done to encourage young women to come in. And I'm happy to see some organizations doing that. And I happen to be one of those mentees of an organization that I enjoyed from. So finding those kind of places also really walking into any construction company that a woman is in charge of. You can walk in and try to find out if you can have a meeting with her as a mentoring and so on. I've encouraged one or two people in that aspect.
We need to have these crucial conversations about barriers and injustice that our women experience. For the housing industry in particular, some finance institutions deny single women loans. In some cultures, widowed women are stripped of their matrimonial entitlement, including real estate. Likewise, single moms still face some kind of stigma when it comes to renting. Let's watch what Nigerians think of these on Nigerian Voices.
It is a fundamental abuse of human rights and the dignity of woman for her not to allow her inherit the property of her husband or her father it is a gross abuse of human rights. And that should not be. As a matter of fact, the National Assembly should pass a law, should enact a bill that will make that right express. It's not a thing that should be debatable, because by virtue of the United Nations Human Rights 1948, women are entitled to that as well as men.
In the construction sector, women are highly underrepresented. And I think it's majorly women are not interested most of the time, and because people are prejudiced and biased against using women in construction. But I believe that if women can go to construction and do a thorough job, they will do a better job than men. But right now, unfortunately, they are highly underrepresented. I'm really not familiar with what government is doing concerning widows and all that. But what I do tell people as a preacher of the gospel, I tell widows, don't be a victim. My wife has access to everything I have. My wife is my next of kin. He has everything. There's no single human being anywhere in the world, dead or alive, that can take anything from my wife.
We need more policies in that regard that protect the interests of a widow or a man or woman. And also, as a man, first of all, let's talk about government policies in regards to women who are in homes and protection for women who actually lost maybe their husbands, and you see family members comes to fighting over properties, land, things like that. I think also the government need to do more to have more laws in that.
They felt that women we don't have the strength. We are just good in kitchen. The government have not done much because Nigeria feel that is a tradition. As soon as the woman lost her husband, yes, the family, they have right to come and take one or two things. No, it is not done that way. Nigeria women are really suffering. They are really suffering in times of in marriage. They are really suffering. So Nigeria government should do something for us.
Traditionally, the construction industry has been seen as physically demanding and suited primarily for men. However, this stereotype has been gradually challenged as more women have entered the field. Women are demonstrating that they can excel in various roles within construction, from project management and architecture to engineering and skilled trades. It is worthy to note that the increasing influx of talented women into the real sector has led to vibrant intellectual contributions to the growth of the industry. I'll be back in a moment.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh,
Huh? What is it again?
Oga, and they drive this car, my mind no dey. My landlord is on my neck.
Your landlord again? I thought I have told you this before. Get a mortgage, register with NHF scheme, and get a home up front. What is so difficult about this?
Oga, I will do just that. See, I will shame that my landlord. Mortgage.
At the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, everyone deserves a home.
Welcome back. The program is Housing Development. Let's talk about the 19th Africa International Housing Show, Africa's biggest housing and construction event. This year's edition promises to be even bigger and better, with a special highlight on the CEO's Conference, a gathering of top decision makers shaping the future of housing and real estate across the continent. If you're in the housing sector, this is one event you can't afford to miss, and for businesses looking to expand their reach, participating as an exhibitor at AIHS is a golden opportunity. Let me break it down. The CEO's Conference, why must you attend? The CEO's Conference at AIHS is a premier gathering designed for leaders in real estate, construction, mortgage finance, and related industry. Why should you attend? Exclusive networking opportunities, connect with industry captains, policymakers, and top investors driving the housing sector. High-level discussions. Gain insights from expert panelists on market trends, investment opportunities, and innovative solutions in real estate. Policy and business dialogue. Engage directly with government officials and regulators to influence policies that impact the housing sector. Partnership and collaboration. Explore opportunities to form strategic alliances with local and international stakeholders. This conference is where key industry decisions are made, making it a must attend for CEOs, developers, financiers, and policymakers. Now let's talk about the incredible opportunity of showcasing your brand as an exhibitor at the Africa International Housing Show. What does it mean to be an exhibitor? Exhibiting at Africa International Housing Show means getting a dedicated space to showcase your product, services, or innovations to a highly targeted audience of industry professionals and potential clients. There are top reasons to be an exhibitor. Number one, massive exposure. AIHS attracts thousands of visitors from across Africa and beyond, giving your brand the visibility it deserves. Two, direct engagement with buyers. Meet potential customers and investors face to face, pitch your services, and close deals on the spot. Three, brand authority and credibility. Being part of Africa's largest housing event positions your company as a key player in the industry. Number four, lead generations and sales. Connect with decision makers who are actively looking for new product, suppliers, and solutions. And number five, media and PR benefits. Enjoy media coverage from top industry platforms, further amplifying your brand's reach. Whether you're into real estate development, construction materials, mortgage finance, smart housing solutions, or home interiors, AIHS is a place to showcase your brand to the right audience.
The FESADEB team is a massive media company right now in Nigeria. You can't say anything in the housing sector, in the television sector, without mentioning Festus Adebayo and the team.
I would want to say well done to the organizers for actually making it bigger every year and making it different every year. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, the organizers of this event.
We appreciate his effort and what he's doing, because this occasion you can't see it everywhere.
Well done. I mean, you are doing a good job, and thank you for always putting together this exhibition for us. Thank you so much.
Housing TV Africa, thumbs up. Africa International Housing Show, thumbs up. FESADEB Group. I am proud of you guys.
The Africa International Housing Show is fast approaching, and now is the time to secure your spot. Are you a CEO or industry leader? Don't miss the CEO's Conference. This is where the future of Africa's housing industry is shaped. Are you a business looking to grow? Become an exhibitor and put your brand in front of key players, decision makers, and potential clients. Spaces are filling up fast, so act now and position your brand for success at Africa's biggest housing event. To register for the CEO's conference or book your exhibition space, visit the website or call the number displayed on your screen. You're watching Housing Development. As the Nigerian Mortgage Refinance Company celebrates its 10th anniversary, its leadership has pledged to intensify efforts to make home ownership more affordable and accessible to Nigerians. On Real Conversation, we explored how the Nigerian Mortgage Refinance Company has shaped Nigeria's mortgage sector and the future of mortgage refinancing in the country. Let's take a listen. 10 years anniversary of NMRC. We need a goodwill message from you, Mr. Kende.
Let me start by saying a very big thank you to the organizers, FESADEP, for putting this together. We're grateful for the opportunity. I want to take a moment to express our deepest gratitude to all our stakeholders for their continued trust in NMRC. I want to particularly thank the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Federal Ministry of Finance, the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, the Mortgage Banking Association of Nigeria, Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority, the press, and others who have been there from the conception of this idea of NMRC to its birth 10 years ago. Over the past decade, our mortgage refinance company has grown from a vision into a leading provider of financial solutions, empowering families and communities to achieve their dreams of home ownership. The 10th anniversary milestone wouldn't have been possible without the unwavering commitment of our dedicated team, the loyalty of our customers, the guidance of our regulators, the support of government, and the strong partnership that we have built with each of you, our investors, our lenders, our partners, and our clients. Together, we have navigated a dynamic industry, adapting to challenges and seizing opportunities to help more people realize their homeownership goals. Our shared commitment to excellence and customer-centric values has allowed us to create lasting relationships, and it is your support that has been the cornerstone of our impact.
Now, for us to fully understand the impact of NMRC, it's essential to look back at its beginning. Why was NMRC established? And what gap was it meant to fill in Nigeria's housing finance sector? Share with us the key challenges in Nigeria's mortgage sector that led to the establishment of NMRC.
If we remember correctly, for some of us that were here in the late 90s and early 2000s, apart from the long-term loan that you could get from Federal Mortgage Bank, which at that time I think was 1.5 million naira, what we called mortgage in Nigeria were typically 2 years to 5 year loans at interest rates of about 35%. That's what we called mortgages in Nigeria in the early 2000s. At that time, a study had been done in Nigeria. We had a deficit back then of 16 million units, and there was no way, no conceivable way for people to own homes, except if they somehow could buy the entire house up front. Having come together, we realized that at that time, mortgage banks were small and fragmented, and if they went to the market to raise funding for themselves, it would be difficult for people to trust them and invest in their bonds. So they decided to come together and try and find an institution that could go to the market, that would have the regulators backing, that would have the federal government's backing, that would have some foreign multilateral organizations backing as well and input, and will be able to engender confidence in the market for people to invest in. And that was how NMRC was put together in a nutshell.
Well, let me first start by just saying congratulations to Kehinde and his team on 10 years of really making a strong place for affordable housing finance, not only in Nigeria, but also in Africa. And as many of you know, that Kehinde has been playing a leadership role as well within the African Union for Housing Finance, where he's our chairman. And I think that gives a clue, in fact, to the answer, is that NMRC has been championing the role and significance of affordable housing finance and the viability of investment into affordable housing processes within Nigeria, but also more broadly across the continent, and of course also globally through other networks. And in that, by slowly, deliberately building the investment argument, then bringing in investors to participate in the work, and then highlighting where the blockages are that limit or undermine the extension of mortgages by primary mortgage lenders and so on. And MRC is really a champion, not just on the lending side, but also on the policy side. And then that starts to create a conversation within Nigeria, but also across the region and globally, about finding ways to sustainably invest in affordable housing.
As we continue to celebrate women in this month of March, let us reaffirm our commitment to creating a world where all women are empowered, valued, and included by working together to break down barriers and foster diversity. Do you know that when women themselves are inspired to be included, there is a sense of belonging, relevance, and empowerment? Collectively, let's forge a more inclusive world for women. On that note, I call it a wrap on today's edition of Housing Development. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.